Hey there, it's Elizabeth, and welcome back to another video. I hope y'all are doing well. So today is going to be the make a journal in a day, okay? For the last several years, since probably, I don't know, I think, 2015 is when I first started journaling, and pretty much I have really been drawn to composition books. There was a year or a few months where I used a traveler's notebook. That didn't work out, and let me think. 2 years ago, no, last year, I used dictionaries, children's dictionaries, but I always go back to the composition books. So this is how I first started, and this is when I used to do, let's move some of this stuff. Anyway, I wanted to show you how I've used the composition books in the past, okay? So this is just a regular composition notebook like this, okay? And this is when I used to do something called the Fibonacci, and I'll just go through them really quickly, okay? This is what they looked like. I would glue 3 of the pages together. Let me get the page here. Where are ya? Come on now. Okay. I glue 3 pages together, right? And then I would put washi down the sides, and then I would just decorate the inside, right? So it looked like this from the side. I would put in sometimes like tucks, tags, pockets, you know, whatever, but not all too thick and bulky. But I really enjoyed these a lot, okay? And then I just would put the eyelets on the side and tie a little ribbon on, and that was it. Okay, this one was, let's see, January, February 2017. So that's one way I used to do it. And I will have a link below. I think I'm going to start having permanent links to all of the tutorials that I have where I actually make my journals for my Creative Daily Journal. Okay, so then one year, this year, 2019, I decided that I wanted more room, okay? Because this year I was doing lots of tucks, tags, and pockets. In fact, that's all I would do. So in here, this outside cover is still a composition book, and I expanded the spine to, I think, 2 inches, 1.5 inches. I don't know. Let's get a ruler. Either 1.5 or 2 inches, 1.5. Okay. So, and then I would sew in my 2 signatures, right? And it just gave me so much more room to play, right? And this is kind of how my pages turned out. Like, I absolutely loved these books so much, right? So that's another way you can use a composition notebook. And what you would do is, or what I did was, I just like, I put in my signatures, I used a combination of regular paper, of like scrapbook paper, composition paper that I dyed. Like this back here is like an index paper, so I would collect papers that I had in my stash, right? And then I stack 8 on top of one another, and that's what would make up a signature. 8 pages makes 32 surfaces to write on. Yeah, we'll get into that in a second, I guess. So that was another way that I used composition books. Expanded the spine, made 2 signatures to hold 2 months, and gosh, I love these so much. They were probably my favorite. I don't know though. They're kind of like children, you know, you really don't have a favorite. Then this past year, I went back to more flat journaling, right? Not a lot of tucks, tags, and pockets and all that kind of stuff. The only difference with this one is that it started out as let's get to the center here, wherever that is. It started out as a composition book, right? And then I sewed in 2 signatures using an old knitting book, okay? And I really have been enjoying this a lot as well. So this was my May and this is my June book. Sewed them in just into the cover. Haven't even decorated the cover yet. And then see, I just sewed them in like that, okay? A 3-hole pamphlet stitch, and that's what we're gonna do today. So what you're going to need is a composition book, right? Or you could always look at my other videos. You know, if and I'll have them in the description box, okay? Because if you want an expanded spine, or if you're using like a cereal box, or you have a front cover, a spine, and a back cover, there'll be a video to how I made this book, which is exactly that. I would cut the composition book, make a front cover, make my own spine out of a piece of cardboard, and make the back cover, and then put it all together either with duct tape or bookbinding tape, okay? Previously, like I told you as well, I used to glue, like when I first started out, I would glue 3 pages, stacks of 3 pages together, and then in the end, it would come out with like, I don't know, 33 pages or something like that. But the gluing is arduous, and it takes a lot of time, it takes a lot of glue and all that. So and again, I wanted a thinner book because I'm not putting all the tucks, tags, and pockets into it now. I simply just do not have the time with working full time. So I thought I'd bring you along while I make my July and August book, and this is the book that I'm using, okay? I'm using, I need to get my X-Acto knife out as well. Okay, so I'm using this book, which is a flow book I got at Ollie's for a couple bucks, okay? It has sturdy pages in it, which is what I like. They are matte finish, another reason I like it, and they are just slightly longer, right? So we will have to trim them, no big deal. And they're just slightly, shorter or whatever. Now, if I really cared all that much, which quite honestly, I do not, I could, line this up at the bottom here so that there's like, a 1/4 of an inch showing or whatever, and I could cut like a 1/2 inch off the top, okay? I don't care. Once these are sewn in, there's going to be, like a 1/2 inch or so on the top and bottom. Not even exactly, probably, I don't know, 5/8 of an inch or something. Yeah. No, is that right? Let's see here. 1, 2, no, like 3/8 of an inch, yeah. So they'll only be like 3/8 of an inch on the top or bottom. And like I said, I really do not care. I do not care at all. Okay, now I was gonna show you how I was gonna take apart this book. And what I've done is I have taken it apart all but one signature, okay? And these are the innards, right? So I put them into 2 separate stacks, okay? These are the ones that I can use for the inside of my journal, right? Because I'm gonna cover it up at some point anyway, so it doesn't really make a difference, right? So look at that beautiful paper there. Yeah, but there's nothing really that I need on any of these pages or that I care for or whatever, except that one maybe. Okay, we might have to go through these. I don't know. Anyway, when you're putting a book together, you need 8 pieces of paper folded in half. That's another reason I like using these books that are bound in with string, like a flow book or this old knitting book that I have, or, you can find one in your shop, like thrift store, okay? But that's the reason I like using them, because once you pop the strings, it all comes out in one sheet, okay? And then there you have it. So there's no like putting pages together and all that kind of stuff. My preference for my journals is that the papers are uniform, okay? So it's not a junk journal at all. It's, they're not random size pages everywhere. They're just uniform pieces of paper, okay? Now, you might be asking, well, Elizabeth, why wouldn't you just use a composition book, right? Well, because a composition book, the paper is super duper thin, like super thin. I think this one is a Jot one, and it's from, whatchamacallit, the Dollar Tree, okay? This is literally like newsprint, okay? It is, in my opinion, worthless paper unless you want to use it for collaging. Otherwise, or pack and fish in it. There is like literally no use for this paper because it's terrible. Anyhow, so when you start out in the center of a composition book, it is bound by string as well. If you can see the string in there, okay? you pop those. You pop those with an X-Acto knife, okay? Blade away from you. Slip your knife under there, pop it, okay? You do the whole thing. And then you're left with this right here, okay? Just the covers. And you can do whatever you want to with these covers. You can collage them. You could glue, you know, scrapbook paper on them. You can, of course, cover the front of it, you know, whatever you want to do, okay? Whatever you want to do. Did I have one? I surely did. Oh, I should have brought it over. Anyway, not this one, because I did not cover that one yet. I'll just get it real fast. Sorry. See, this is the one that I did cover. So you can do a lot to it, right? Okay, good grief. 10 minutes in, let's get down to business, Elizabeth. All right, so we've taken the paper out. You might be saying, Elizabeth, why do you waste all that paper? What do you do with it? Well, I mean, with the Jot book, I would wrap fish with it. But if you have like a decent, you know, this is a Jot one too. If you have a decent one, then you just dye the papers inside, right? Oh, listen to that. I do food coloring dye. So much fun. Okay, so much fun. So I do not waste the paper. I use that in other projects. All right, so we've got our cover here. Let me show you how to take apart this book. Okay, so I was also going to show you, if you remember, how to take the glued in signatures out. I tried with all my might, okay? I don't have a heat tool, but I used a blow dryer, and they do not come out, okay? And in some cases, it really like just ruined it, okay? So let's get to this little squirrel right here, okay? And I'm gonna show you. In this book, it is bound by string, all right? So you take your X-Acto knife blade away from your fingers. You go underneath and you just pop it. That's all there is to it, right? You just pop them out. Super, super simple. And let's get the last one here. And there we have it, okay? Put your X-Acto knife away. And then all you have to do is gently pull on them, and there they come out, right? Okay, this would be perfect for my journal, all right? I'm gonna set it aside. This one has some cute pictures on it, so I don't know. I'm not sure. And I like that picture there, so I probably would not use this in my journal. So I'm gonna put that over there, okay? Now we get to see, there were some places in here where I had attempted to take out, you know, the other, the glued in signatures. Some worked, some didn't work, no big deal, okay? But, so then what you're left with after you clean out all that is a book like this, okay? Look how much thinner that is. This now will become a glue book, okay? Because the pages are fabulous, and you know, or even if I just wanted to cut these out and use the images or leave them in, right, and do my own thing, but I could still do some type of collage journal or something. Leave this in here, you know, so it just all depends, but it's the perfect size now to use as a journal. I mean, I would have to count the pages to see, and some of you guys might not even care how many pages your book has. This is going to be like a really great, sturdy book to use as a journal if that's what you wanted to do. There are ugly spots in here. I would just simply put masking tape on there or washi tape or whatever, and that would be fine. But yeah, you can use this however you want. It's got a really sturdy hardback, you know, so this is a great book to keep in your stash to use for something else. All right, now making this, okay. So you open your book and you've got to choose your pages. Like I said, I have 2 stacks here. These are all the innards of the book, right? Came out swimmingly, perfectly beautifully, okay? I did put them into 2 separate piles. These are ones that I like the images, right? So I would use this for glue booking or something like that. Okay, this obviously I'm gonna save and use in my journal, you know, so that's what this stack is for. We don't need to go through every single one. We're just gonna save those to the side. Okay, now let's see. We need, since we're doing 2 signatures, we are going to need, I'm just making sure. Okay, so you need your background, which is the composition book cover. Don't waste that paper, dye it, and use it for other projects. We have to pick out 2 sets of 8 for the innards, all right? You're gonna need needles, a wide eye needle. I just use like a tapestry needle that is blunt. I keep them in this big cork. You're gonna need an awl to poke holes, and you're also going to need some embroidery floss. Some people use, what's it called? Like wax linen and, you know, whatever, all that. I find embroidery floss works just as well for me. Okay, so let's just quickly go through here, and we're going to pick out 2 sets of 8 pages. 1, 2. This is going to be for my July or yeah, I don't know. Maybe I want this for my August though. I don't know. It doesn't matter really. It's going to get covered up anyway, so I don't really care. Okay, this right here, I really like that. So that's going in the other pile. Okay, that's 3, 4, I don't know, 4, we might keep that 4. That stinks. I don't know. I've got a lot to choose from. 4, this I can use because I never use these things. 4, so 5, these are cute images, but 6, these are nice images. I might want to save that. 7, sorry. 7. 7. Food I don't care about. 8. Okay. So then we have 1. Oh. Oh, with Surratt on the back. Okay. So we're at 1. 1. I don't mind that. 2. Let's see. Yeah. 3. I liked these, I think. I don't think I wanted to take, yeah. Okay. 4, was that 4? 5. 6. Okay, was this another one? 7. Yep. Okay, so we need 1 more and 1 more only. So let us look back real quick through this stack here. Oh yeah, I wanted that one. That one's broken up. Those are like quotes. Those are really cute. And I could always journal right over that. Yeah, I might just use that one. These I kind of like. Yeah, and then we have the art pictures. Okay, so there we go. Okay, I think we have 8 of them. Okay, so now let us see. I don't know if you notice this, but once, okay, so the second thing you do after you choose your papers, right, and you're going to have 8 each, all right, 8 in each bundle, all right, like this. This you can see it a little better. as your papers get nestled together, okay, right, they are going to start coming out this way, all right? They're gonna start pushing their way out. So what we do with that is we trim off a little bit from those pages, okay? So that is what we're gonna do. We're gonna take a couple at a time. We're gonna get our trusty old Move paper trimmer, okay? And we're just gonna trim, okay? Trim a little bit off. And this goes back in there or close to it. Get out of the way there, you guys. Not playing here, not playing. All right. So that goes in the center. We're gonna go ahead and trim these just a smidge as well. Every single book you make it's gonna do this, you know. It's gonna pop out. So you just put them on your trimmer and hope that you can trim them without breaking your trimmer. All right. And again, like, it does not have to be perfect, okay? It really doesn't. Look, I chewed that whole thing up. Doesn't really matter, because in the end, I'm going to be covering everything up anyway. Okay, see now, look at that. Here's the only dilemma that I have now. And it will all depend, where'd my cover go? Are you kidding me right now? Oh, it's underneath. Why didn't you tell me? Is that I do think we're gonna have to trim all of it. Yeah, see? Like, all of this needs to get trimmed. You can do this one of two ways, just like I showed you, which we're gonna do again. Or you can simply take your ruler, right? Your ruler has a metal part on this side. Some of them do, some of them don't, or just get yourself a metal ruler. You can hold it down like this. You can take your X-Acto or a rotary cutter or whatever to trim your pages down, okay? We, however, are going to trim them, well, let's see here. We're gonna trim them 2 at a time, okay? 2 at the time. All right. I'm gonna go ahead and trim them that way, that much, I think, which is only like 1/4 of an inch maybe. Okay, so there's that. Then we take the next 2 and we, let's see where we are here. Make sure they're nestled. I'm gonna trim these down. Okay. And these go in here. This is just off to the side here. There, I'm just putting them in this, in here, in the signature. Take the next 2. Okay, put those in there. Trim them down. Open them up, put them in the signature. Take the last 2. Trim them down, and let's see where we're at. Okay, nestle them all back together and see if it's gonna work. It will work. See? If you can see that? Yep. Okay, so now we're gonna do the same thing to, I don't know what that is, to this group of pages here, okay? Same thing. Just make sure everything's kind of lined up, which that was not lined up. Come on now. Okay, now again with the blade. Oh my word. Did I say how much I love? Oh gosh, you've got to be kidding me right now. There is a specific way, there we go, to put that in. I'm not really sure what it is, but we might even trim these a little bit more. Maybe. Just because, yeah, because we trimmed the other ones first, right? Before we trimmed them again. I don't know. What's that saying? Like, measure twice, cut once, whatever. Apparently, I don't subscribe to that. All right. Now we're going to open these back up. This is my center. Open these back up. That's my center. Again, the one reason I really, really enjoy using books that are bound by string is because it makes it a lot easier to put your pages in, you know? I mean, it's like, it just makes life super, super simple, okay? Makes your life simple. More simple, I guess. All right. Okay. So now let's clean this bit off. Okay. Now, see, look, these are coming out, but I don't really care because if they fit in the book, doesn't bother me, and they fit within the book. Okay, they fit within the book. There they are. So, doesn't really make a difference. Okay, now let's get to sewing. All right, this right here, okay, this is what I might do. I'm not really sure. I doubt it. What you could do is put simply a piece of tape over it, right? Should we try that? Let's see here. I would want maybe, I don't know, maybe something green. Okay, we can do this way. And I'm just gonna take this glue right here and just put it right down the center. It just makes it look a little bit more neat. And if you put it on properly, which let's face it, I highly doubt is gonna happen here. Then, which is properly, what I mean by properly is like going down the center, okay, of the book. All right, let's see here. We're just gonna rip, really? Okay, rip that off. All right. Okay. Now, if we close the book, all right, that, see, it's not the same down here. Okay, put that like, more like that. Yeah, okay. And yes, you did just see me rip it, and you did just see me not care, okay? Because all that's gonna get covered up, okay? So now the book's gonna close like this, right? So we can put our holes like right on either side of the center, and it should be fine, okay? So this is what I did. I took a piece, just a regular piece of paper, okay? This is gonna be our back signature. And this is going to be our template, all right? So we set it in here like this. Okay, line it up as best you can, all right? And this is how we're gonna make our holes. Now, we are going to put this, if you'll notice, I put it over like 1/8 of an inch onto the tape. I don't know if you can see that or not. No, good grief. Okay, okay. So it's like 3/8 of an inch from the top and bottom or so, okay? We're really just eyeballing it. Like there really are no distinct measurements because, let me tell you why. I need some clamps. Because every book is different, believe it or not. Even though you're working with, a composition book. You know, they're not all made the same. Okay, so we are going to take a clamp and we're going to clamp this down. Okay, we're gonna close this. All right, this is the tricky part now. The tricky part. Okay. I wonder if I should do it, put the holes in first, because I do have a template, but here's the template. All right, let's try this a different way, shall we? I'm always looking for new ways to make things a little bit easier. Now, obviously, it doesn't look like this is easier, but we're gonna try it, okay? So we're gonna put this here. All right, so now I've got my template in the center, okay? And let me get a, let's see here. Sorry, golly, I probably should have been a little bit more prepared. I don't know, we'll just use this right here. Okay, we're just gonna put that right there. All right. Now, we're gonna take this and I'm eyeballing the center, okay? I'm closing it and then I'm sticking the awl right through, okay? And then I'm just coming down like, I don't know, an inch maybe, and sticking the awl through. It's not neat. I don't really care, in all honesty. And there's the third one. I find that your sewing is gonna be a lot easier if you make your holes bigger. Again, it's not the prettiest thing in the world, but it does serve well. Let me get a marker out now, because you'll be able to easily, right? Now my holes are in, okay? I know, yes, I just took the clamps off. All right, because I want to make the holes in the book, all right? So I'm just kind of eyeballing it, okay? It's about 1/8 of an inch over into the green tape, about 1/8 of an inch over here. I know that there is a hole there, there is a hole there, and there is a hole there. And do I care that I just marked it? No, not at all, folks, not at all. But now I know where to put my holes, okay? So we're gonna put this magazine underneath of it, and we're just gonna poke a hole all the way through, okay? Do another one right here. Poke it through. The other reason I really do enjoy, again, no measurement needed, only if you want measurement, which this is gonna come out funky because this isn't correct. Look how that came out on the spine. Oh well, okay, we're doing this together, so. All right, now you get this back. Okay, we get our needle out, and let's just use red thread. This is how I keep a lot of my embroidery floss. We're gonna go 3 lengths, 1, 2, or really just like 2.5. You don't really need all that much because, you know, you don't want to waste it. Anyway, with these, they're just plastic clothespins, and there, you tuck it in there. Yeah, anyway. All right. Let's get to sewing. So we put it through our needle, okay? And you saw me do this when? Yesterday? No, last week? I'm not really sure. Take your little template out. We're going through the center, okay? Oh, you know what I should have done? Is marked top. Yep. Always mark top. You know who taught me that? My sweet friend, Brooke from Recreations by Brooke. Okay, let's get sewing. All right, go through the center, go through there. All right, going through, we're leaving a tail. All right, we go up through the top hole and we get it through, let's poke it through there. All right, we go through the top hole, okay, pull it taut, okay, then we're gonna go all the way down clear to the bottom hole, which is right here, and into this hole and pull it, and then we're gonna go right back through the center, okay, right like that. All right, sometimes that works out really well, like it just did, and other times, oh my gosh, you feel like sticking the needle in your eye. All right, so just be prepared. All right, so now I'm going to pull this and, okay, if I pull it down, I'm gonna take this one and pull it, make sure it's tight, okay? And then we're going to just tie it off simply. I just make 3 ties, doesn't matter. You can always, like, I've seen people make their journals, what's it called, like with these tail things on the outside, and that's fine, you know, that's fine. Okay, there's that. That looks like it's like dead center, does it not? I don't even know. All right, now, oh gosh, this isn't gonna work out so well, I fear. Let's see, maybe this is gonna be my first one, and then I'll put the second one over here on this side. Yep, that looks like it might be what I'm gonna have to do. No big deal, okay? No big deal at all, because I'm gonna cover this stuff up anyway. All right, so we're just gonna go right here because we have our template, right? Oh wait, no, I don't want there. Okay, right on the outside of the tape. All right, and we're gonna poke our holes through. Okay, there. Right on the outside of the tape. Poke our hole through. Yes, it's a large hole. I do realize that. But, I mean, you just saw how simple it was to do the, you know, to do the sewing. I mean, when you have a bigger hole. And you can always cover it up if you want, you know, no big deal. Okay, so let's get these centered and all normal-ish. Here is this, there's my top. Make sure, clamp it down, get your awl. We're gonna go to the center here and just push through. Push right through, there's the center. Here is the top one right there. And here is this bottom one right there. Okay, now folks, we are all set to sew in our next signature. One, I bet we could probably do it with 2. Okay, oops, let's fix this up. Yeah, you just put it like in the teeth of the clothespin and it holds it there for you. Super cute idea. Okay, large eye needle. This is a tapestry needle, so it's not, I mean, it'll hurt you if you let it, but it is blunt. Okay, we can take these off. Some people keep them on, whatever. Whatever. Okay, we go through the center. Let's do this again. We go through the center, out the back. Then we go through the back. And let's see here. Let's see what we're doing here. Why isn't that going through? What's going on here? Oops, sorry, I just knocked you. Oh, forgive me, golly. What happened here? Okay. Okay, that's the part. All right. This is a terrible thing. A terrible tutorial, I'm sorry. Okay, then we go through here. Through this top part of the book. Oh, come on. Okay, there we go. Through the top. All right, now we're getting somewhere, sort of. All right, through the top, down through the bottom here, okay? Comes out the back side and right through that hole there. Ah, golly day, bring it around. Okay, we put it through the center, back through the center hole. And let's look through here to see where it's coming out at. Okay, we go back through the center, back through there. Okay? Ugh. Boy, that was painful, guys. I'm really sorry. But, I mean, that's basically how you do it. Now, when you're doing the 3-hole pamphlet stitch, remember, your strings have to be one on either side, okay? So, you gently pull so that it gets nice and tight, okay? All right, I think I split that's tight enough. I think I split the thread, which, I mean, it doesn't really make a difference. Not that I'm aware of anyway. Okay. 2, 3, that worked out fine. Clip those off, and we are done, folks. We are done. Okay, and now we have, well, we can cut these things off. Let's see, I have some scissors right here. Cut that off, cut that off. Okay, and you're done with the book, all right? Here is one signature. Let's see here. One signature. Okay, there's the inside of it. And here is your other signature, okay? Nothing hangs over. The pages are a little bit short. Like I said, I could still take a rotary cutter and cut this off if I really, really wanted to, if it bothered me that much. It does not, okay? It does not bother me at all. I can have things hanging out the top, hanging out the bottom a little bit, no big deal, okay? It's all in here. There's what the back looks like. Okay, there's what the back looks like, if you can see it. I hope you can see it. There you go. Okay, and then you can decorate the cover any way you want, decorate the inside however you want. I don't think anything should fall out of here. Yeah, it's in there. It's all in there, okay? So these aren't as tight as I'd like, but that's okay. Now, I'm gonna probably collage the front of this at some point, but I just wanted to show you. So there are 3 ways that you can make your journals, if you would like to, out of a composition notebook, okay? You can simply go this route and glue your pages together if you want to. Makes the pages sturdier, you can pretty them all up and all that. And this is just a composition book with the paper in it. You can make a big fat chunky one like this and sew in 2 signatures, 8 pages a piece, folded in half, and you know, according to the size of your book. And you can expand the spine, right, to put lots of stuff. Look at that, goodness, you gotta have lots of stuff. Or you can make your own book out of just, you know, paper you have in your stash, and this will be nice and thick. Now, I'm not saying that nothing will bleed through. There might be things that bleed through or whatever, but typically I can paint on this. I can do whatever, you know, I can use those daubers. I can just do whatever I want. It doesn't make a difference. Generally speaking, I do cover most of my pages with something, you know, with you know, like collage work and stuff like that. And so it doesn't matter, but I do like having the thicker pages, you know, versus just using the composition book. Now, I could always make a book out of these pages, right? And these are the original composition notebook pages, because again, I glue stuff and collage over top of it, so it doesn't really make a difference, you know, to me, what pages I use, what, you know, whatever. But it's nice to use books in your stash. And yeah, so now here we have, this is all ready to be used for July and August, you know. So I hope that wasn't too nerve-wracking for you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, 8 pages in each. Okay, 8 pages in each. Making a template makes it a little bit easier. Yeah. So, and they hold up, you know, pretty well. I mean, the one that I have here has held up so far. I haven't had any issues with anything, you know. It's worked out really, really well. And there you have it, right? Okay, so like I said, there now are 3 ways to use a composition notebook. And if you go down below, I will have a link for the series that I did on how I used to do my Fibonacci's. I will have a link to this expanded spine journal out of a comp book, and I will have this, which is just taking pages from another book and using them for pages in this book. And again, I know I repeat myself often, but I want you guys to understand. You might be asking, Elizabeth, why would you dismantle a composition book? And I know this is going on long enough, but I have to explain. I feel the need to explain. Because number one, like I said at the beginning, the composition notebook paper is not the best, okay? Especially if you get it from like the Dollar Tree. It's terrible paper. The second reason is, or is there a second reason? But the other reason I like it changing the paper out is, I'm not going to spend time gluing. I'm not going to waste the money on glue. I'm not going to spend time gluing, even though this is how I started with the Fibonacci and gluing my pages together, and I absolutely loved it. I don't have time to do it any longer. So doing this, I mean, we just, you know, without all my yammering and everything, you could do this in like 20 minutes, you know. The other thing too is that I happen to like this size. I like this size. Another reason is because I control how many pages go in here. I like doing my books 2 months at a time. It gives me 6 books at the end of the year. I happen to prefer that. You might not. A lot of people have journals that they buy at the store and use them. They start on one day, they end on another day, and they just move on to another journal. And that's fine too. I am not saying at all that you have to do your journals this way. Not at all. I'm just giving you options and the reasons why I choose to use the composition book. Oh, there's another very important reason why I choose to use the composition book. It is not precious, okay? Well, it is precious to me after I fill it, but at the beginning, like, it doesn't matter. If I had totally screwed up the binding or whatever, like, there went 50 cents. You know what I'm saying? So that's probably one of the biggest reasons I use composition books, because I would not freak out if I messed it up, you know, or if, you know, I didn't maybe like a page or, you know, whatever the case is, but I wouldn't feel bad, you know what I mean? So I hope that makes sense. Yeah, again, check the links all below. I'll have the original Fibonacci book that I altered composition book. I'll have the composition book with the expanded spine, and I'll have the latest version which is just a lot more easy to do, okay? And a lot less time consuming. So I hope you enjoyed that. I hope I explained it well enough. I don't know. I'm not really good at tutorials. I apologize. But I do thank you for sharing your time with me. And I hope, you know, you learned something new, learned a new way of doing things. Maybe you don't want to do it this way. Maybe you'd like to try the expanded spine, or maybe you just like doing the Fauxbonichi type of thing. Your choice. Or go to the store and buy one, you know, yeah. Or make your own, make a junk journal, do whatever you want. Okay, so I'm just trying to give you options on and different ways to use a composition book. So yes, again, thank you so much for sharing your time with me. And yeah, have a great rest of your day and a wonderful week. And I'll talk to y'all real soon. Bye for now.